My brothers and sisters, let me tell you something loud and clear. God doesn't guess, he plans. You see, God is not a God of chaos. He is a God of order. From the very beginning, he has orchestrated everything with precision and purpose. The sun rises not by chance, but because God commanded it to do so. The stars don't hang in the sky by accident. They're placed exactly where he wants them. So when he speaks and says it's all planned for the start of 1st August, you better understand that this isn't symbolic language. This is strategic divine communication. Nothing in your life has caught God off guard. That pain you felt, that setback that nearly broke you, that season where you couldn't see clearly, he factored it all in. The enemy may have tried to shake your foundation, but God was still writing the blueprints behind the scenes. He sees the end from the beginning. His plan is not reactive, it is proactive, premeditated, and perfectly timed. When Moses was placed in the Nile, when Joseph was thrown in the pit, when Jesus was led to the cross, those were all planned moments. And just like them, your August 1st is not just a day, it's a divine doorway. It's when what's been stirring in the spirit becomes visible in the natural. This is not hype. This is heaven's schedule. So don't walk into the month like it's ordinary. Don't treat August 1st like any other start to a month. Treat it like God circled it on his calendar because he did. And if he's planned something, it means he's also prepared you for it. Every trial, every tear, every silent prayer was preparation. You were never drifting. You were in divine development. And now the time is nearing for the unveiling. And now some of y'all have been waiting. You've been sitting in what feels like silence, asking God when, wondering how long, questioning if he still hears you. You've watched others move forward while you feel stuck in the same place. And let me tell you something. God's delays are not denials. When it feels like he's doing nothing, he's often doing the most. He's orchestrating, pruning, maturing, and positioning. Because what good is a breakthrough if you're not ready to walk in it? See, we live in a microwave world, but we serve a crock-pot God. He takes his time because he's building something that lasts. If he gave you the blessing before your heart was right, before your character was shaped, before your roots were deep, it would crush you instead of elevate you. He's not just interested in giving you something, he's interested in making you into someone who can carry it. That waiting room you've been in, it's not punishment, it's preparation. God has been stretching your faith, deepening your trust, and burning out the impurities that don't belong in your next season. Sometimes the reason for the delay is because he loves you too much to let you settle for less than what he truly designed for you. So when he says August 1st, don't try to rush July 30th. Don't manipulate it. Don't manufacture something on your own. Let God be God. He has a divine schedule, and his timing is tied to more than just you. It's about people, places, and purposes all converging in a single moment. And when it comes, it'll be so precise, so perfect, that you'll look back and say, now I see why he made me wait. August 1st ain't just another date. It's a line in the sand. It's a moment marked in heaven before you ever saw it on your calendar. When God speaks about a specific time, he's pointing to a shift, a movement, a release. You can feel it if you're paying attention. The stirring in your spirit, the unease with staying where you've always been, the deep sense that something's coming. That's not emotion. That's spiritual alignment. That's heaven getting ready to break into your reality. This isn't about superstition. This is about prophetic alignment. August 1st represents a doorway, not just for blessings, but for assignments, realignments, and reactivations. God is about to stir gifts that have been dormant. He's about to reignite passion that life tried to extinguish. What the enemy thought was buried, God is about to resurrect. But it's not for your comfort, it's for his kingdom. See, in the Bible, God moved in appointed times. There were feast days, sabbatical years, jubilee seasons. And they weren't chosen randomly. They were marked in eternity. And when those times arrived, heaven and earth moved in sync. August 1st is one of those moments, the kind where your obedience intersects with his omnipotence, where your preparation meets his promise. But here's the key. It's not about hype, it's about readiness. If you're spiritually asleep, you'll miss it. If you're distracted, bitter, or stuck in yesterday, you'll walk right past the door he opens. But if your heart is postured, if your ears are tuned, if your spirit is awake, you'll step into something bigger than anything you've seen before. Because when God says it starts now, nothing on earth or in hell can stop it. But let me give you the truth. God doesn't bless mess. He's not about to pour out something sacred into a vessel that's cluttered, contaminated, or closed off. When God says something is coming, he's also saying, get ready. And that's where most people miss it. They get excited about the prophecy, but they don't do the preparation. They shout about the breakthrough, but never clean the room where the blessing's supposed to land. You don't prepare for rain when it starts falling. You build the ark before the first drop. Noah didn't wait for clouds. He moved on God's word. And now God is speaking again. It's all planned for August 1st. So the question becomes, how are you preparing? Are you decluttering your mind? Are you laying down your idols? Are you turning away from the very things that block your access to his presence? This moment requires more than just church attendance or surface level faith. It requires surrender. It requires you to strip away everything that doesn't align with where he's taking you. Because what's coming is too holy to land on unholy ground. You've got to make space. You've got to consecrate your time, your priorities, your conversations. If he's bringing fresh oil, make sure the lamp is ready. If he's opening a door, make sure you're not dragging yesterday's baggage into tomorrow's breakthrough. And don't just prepare out of fear, prepare with expectation. Expect the shift, expect the answer. Expect the change to fall and the clarity to come. God responds to expectation that's rooted in faith, not fantasy. So don't just hope for change. Position yourself for it. Live like you know he's coming. Pray like you know he's listening. Move like the countdown isn't coming, it's already begun. You are not an accident. You are not just here to exist, to go through the motions, to survive another year. You were born with a divine assignment stamped on your soul before you ever took your first breath. And August 1st is not just a date on a page, it's a divine activation. God is not just scheduling events, he's calling his people into purpose. That means your time is no longer coming, your time is now. Too long have you allowed fear to silence your voice. Too long have you stayed in the background, questioning your worth, waiting for permission, holding back the very gift God placed inside of you. But God is saying, no more delays, no more excuses, no more shrinking back. There's a territory assigned to your name, a breakthrough attached to your obedience, and a generation waiting on your yes. You don't need more signs. You don't need more confirmations. You've heard the whispers in the quiet, the nudges in your spirit, the dreams that won't leave you alone. That wasn't coincidence. That was God marking you for this season. August 1st isn't just about what he's going to do for you, it's about what he wants to do through you. So now is the time to stand tall in your identity. Shake off the labels, the shame, the fear, the insecurity. You've been hidden but not forgotten, delayed but not denied. Your oil hasn't run out. It's been preserved for this very moment. You are the one he chose, and your assignment is waiting. It's not too big for you. It's built for you. God already saw your flaws and still called you anyway. He factored in your failures and still wrote your name in the plan. So go ahead and step. Go ahead and speak. Go ahead and build. The door is about to open, and when it does, walk through it like you know who sent you. The countdown has already begun. You can feel it in the air, a spiritual stirring that can't be explained by logic or circumstance. Something is shifting. Something is being released. Heaven isn't silent. It's speaking in whispers, dreams, and divine interruptions. And if you're tuned in, if your spirit is aligned, then you already know this is not a season to coast. This is not a time to be casual with your calling or passive with your purpose. This is the moment you've been prepared for. There are some moments in life that change everything, not because they look dramatic on the outside, but because they carry divine weight on the inside. That's what August 1st is. It's not just another sunrise, it's a spiritual signal that heaven's agenda is advancing. God is not just setting things in motion around you, he's stirring things within you. The dreams that have been asleep are waking up. The calling that felt distant is now echoing louder than ever. The oil that once dripped is about to overflow. You weren't made for the background. You weren't made to play small, stay silent, or live beneath your calling. That hesitation, that self-doubt, that fear, it's not yours. It's been planted to keep you from what's already yours. Because the enemy knows something we often forget. You're dangerous when you realize who you are. You're powerful when you step into what God has already spoken. So when the door opens, walk through it without flinching. When the shift happens, lean into it with faith, not fear. This isn't the time to second guess the voice you've been hearing. This is the time to say, Lord, I'm ready. Ready to obey, ready to trust, ready to be used. Because the countdown isn't just about time, it's about timing. And God's timing is never off. The clock of heaven is striking and your name is echoing in eternity. This is more than a message. It's a wake-up call to destiny. A shaking in your spirit that says, you can't stay here. You can't stay stuck in fear, in comfort, in cycles that keep you bound. When God speaks about a date, when he says it's all planned for the start of August 1st, he's not inviting you to sit and observe. He's commanding you to rise, to prepare, to step into something greater than what you've known. Destiny doesn't wait for convenience. It rarely shows up when you feel ready. But when heaven sends a call, it demands an answer. And some of you have been feeling that call in your dreams, in your restlessness, in the stirring that won't go away. That's God saying, it's your turn. You've been trained in the fire, refined through loss, tested in silence. Now it's time to be released into purpose with power. God doesn't announce dates for show. He marks moments for movement. August 1st is a divine appointment where timelines converge. Heaven is about to meet earth, and when it does, the ones who were ready in secret will be revealed in public. That's why the enemy has tried so hard to distract you, delay you, detour you, because he knows that when you step into what's already been planned, you become a force he can't contain. So let this word shake you. Let it wake something up inside of you. There is no more time to sit on the sidelines, no more time to rehearse old pain, no more time to delay what God already declared. What he has spoken will come to pass, but you must participate in your prophecy. Stand up, shake the dust off, lift your head and open your heart, because this isn't just a new month. It's not just a new season. It's the unveiling of everything you were created for. Heaven is watching, not in judgment, but in anticipation. The angels are leaning over the balconies of glory, waiting to see if you will respond to the call written over your life. All of creation groans, Scripture says, waiting for the sons and daughters of God to be revealed. That means heaven isn't passive about your purpose, it's invested. There's a divine expectation over you because God planted something inside of you that carries kingdom impact. And now, as August 1st draws near, the question isn't, will God move? The question is, will you be ready when he does? There are seasons when God moves suddenly, but those sudden shifts are always preceded by seasons of unseen preparation. Think about Joseph. One moment he was in the prison, the next in the palace. But that wasn't random. That was the result of God's plan colliding with Joseph's obedience. And your moment is coming. The page is turning, the scenery is shifting, and heaven is holding its breath, watching for you to step into alignment. But it's not just heaven watching, hell is trembling. Because the enemy knows that when you discover your true identity, when you say yes to the assignment, when you stop being distracted by small things, you become dangerous. Not because of your strength, but because of who is backing you. When you walk in God's plan, you carry authority, power, and heaven's favor. And that kind of believer tears down strongholds. So don't downplay this moment. Don't scroll past the word God is using to shake you awake. You've been marked, you've been chosen. And you've been called for such a time as this. The countdown is real and eternity is leaning in. What you do next matters. Not just for you, but for every life your obedience will impact. Heaven is watching, hell is nervous, and you were made for this moment. You were born for this. Not just to exist, not just to survive another year, not just to chase approval or check boxes, but to live fully in the will of God, right in the center of his perfect plan. You've walked through storms that should have taken you out. You've endured seasons of silence that should have crushed your faith, but you're still here, not by accident. Not by coincidence, but because there's a divine assignment hovering over your life that can't be canceled by man, hell, or circumstance. August 1st isn't just another page on the calendar, it's a spiritual summons, and you wouldn't be feeling this tug in your spirit if God wasn't getting ready to do something through you that shakes atmospheres and shifts legacies. You see, when God gets ready to launch something significant, he doesn't look for the loudest voice or the biggest platform. He looks for the most surrendered heart. And if you've been walking through a wilderness, if you've been hidden, overlooked, or underestimated, that's not rejection, that's preparation. God often hides his greatest warriors in the shadows until the moment is right. And when he says it's time, he doesn't consult your past. He doesn't check your resume. He looks at your readiness, your hunger, your posture. He's not looking for perfection. He's looking for a yes. A yes that says, even if I'm afraid, I'll go. A yes that says, even if I failed, I'll try again. A yes that says, I don't need to have all the answers, I just need to trust the one who does. So when that moment comes, when the door creaks open, when the favor flows, when the assignment is handed to you, don't shrink back. Don't question if you're worthy. Don't talk yourself out of the very thing you were created for. You were born for this. Every scar, every trial, every delay was shaping you for an appointed time. And now that time is approaching. Heaven is calling. The plan is in motion, and your name is written on it. God said it's all planned, not partly, not maybe, not if things work out all. That means there is nothing random about what's coming. Every detail has been accounted for. Every delay you didn't understand. every closed door you cried over, every battle you thought would break you, it was all part of a greater orchestration. God is not improvising your destiny. He's not scrambling to adjust to your circumstances. He's already written the script. And August 1st is the scene where everything begins to unfold. This is the point where divine clarity meets divine timing. The moment when things begin to make sense, not because they were easy, but because they were essential. That pain wasn't wasted. That waiting season wasn't idle. God was putting pieces together in ways you couldn't see. He was moving people, arranging resources, softening hearts, preparing opportunities, all while you were learning to trust him in the silence. Now he's saying, get ready because it's about to begin. This is where prayers meet manifestation. This is where preparation meets opportunity. This is where your faith starts seeing what your spirit has already believed. The shift won't just be external, it'll be internal too. Confidence will rise, clarity will return, passion will ignite. The fear that held you back will lose its grip because purpose has a way of silencing fear when it's time to walk into what God has ordained. You don't need to figure everything out, you just need to follow. He's not asking you to know the plan. He's asking you to trust the planner. And if he said it's all planned, then rest in that promise and rise with that authority. Because the beginning of August isn't just a new chapter. It's the moment heaven's plan meets your obedience. And when those two collide, nothing can stop what God is about to do. There's a reason your spirit has been restless lately. A reason you've been sensing something shifting even when nothing around you seems to be moving. It's because your spirit knows what your eyes can't yet see, that God has already released the next season and it's waiting on your agreement. That's why the enemy has been trying to wear you down, distract your focus, and drain your hope. Because he knows that when you finally recognize the moment you're standing in, you won't walk the same anymore. You've been circling the same mountain long enough. You've battled doubt long enough. You've carried questions long enough. But August 1st is not coming to maintain what was, it's coming to announce what will be. The old season is closing not because it was a failure, but because it did its job. It taught you, it grew you, it stripped you of what couldn't go with you into the future. And now heaven is declaring it's time. But stepping into what's next requires more than excitement. It requires intentionality. It requires you to look at the habits, the relationships, the patterns, and ask, does this align with where I am going? You can't take Egypt into the promised land. You can't carry old mindsets into new miracles. God is calling for a separation, not to punish you, but to prepare you for promotion. So stand still and discern the moment. Everything may look the same in the natural, but in the spirit, everything is shifting. And if you lean in, if you posture your heart, silence the noise and say, yes, Lord, you'll find yourself walking into a season. It's not just new. It's been prepared with your name on it. This isn't just a moment for inspiration. It's a moment for decision. A moment that demands a response from deep within your soul. You've heard the word, you've felt the stirring, and now the question is simple. Will you move when God says move? Because when he said, it's all planned for the start of August 1st, he wasn't offering a suggestion. He was declaring a shift. And now he's watching to see who's willing to step into it. The truth is, many will hear the call, but few will answer it. Not because they're not chosen, but because they're too attached to what's comfortable, too loyal to what's familiar. But this kind of moment, this divine appointment, requires you to let go of safe and reach for sacred. It takes faith to walk when the path isn't clear. It takes obedience to follow, even when logic says stay. This is not the season for hesitation. It's not the season for procrastination. It's the season to move with urgency, to walk with confidence, to believe like the promise is already unfolding, because it is. God doesn't operate in theory. He operates in truth. And if he said it's planned, that means it's already in motion. Your job is not to manufacture it. Your job is to align with it. So now's the time to clear the noise, cancel the doubt, and refocus your spirit. Everything you've walked through has been leading to this moment. Every struggle, every delay, every detour, it's all been working together for what's coming next. You're not just stepping into a new season, you're stepping into God's set time. And when you move in sync with his timing, you won't have to chase what's yours. It will find you, overtake you, and establish you exactly where you were always meant to be. You're not waiting on the move is waiting on you. God has already set it in motion. The heavens have already aligned. The path has already been cleared. What he's waiting for now is your agreement, your yes, your obedience, your willingness to step even when the ground beneath your feet feels uncertain. Because faith isn't about walking when it's clear. It's about walking when all you have is the word. And the word is clear, it's all planned for the start of August 1st. That means the breakthrough isn't accidental. The opportunity isn't random. The shift isn't coming because you earned it. It's coming because he ordained it. But here's the truth. You can't walk into a new move of God with an old mindset if you try to carry yesterday's fear, yesterday's pain, yesterday's failure into tomorrow's blessing. You'll block what's been released for you. This is the moment where alignment must meet action. You've been praying, you've been waiting, you've been asking God for confirmation, and now he's saying, I've told you, I've shown you, I've prepared you, now move. The window is opening, but windows don't stay open forever. There's a divine urgency in this hour, not to scare you, but to wake you. Because your delay doesn't cancel his plan, but it can postpone your participation. So this is the time to rise in faith, to walk with boldness, to prepare your hands for the harvest because it's coming fast. What once felt far off is now right in front of you. And it won't be by your strength or your strategy, but by your surrender. God has already released what's needed. Now all that's left is for you to step into it. You've come too far to turn back now. You've come too far to turn back now. You've prayed too hard, cried too long, and survived too much to quit on the edge of what God has promised. The enemy didn't fight you over your past. He fought you over your future. He saw what was written over your life and tried to convince you it would never come to pass. But he's a liar. And the evidence that you're still standing is proof that God's plan is still unfolding. When God said it's all planned for the start of August 1st, he wasn't just speaking over a date. He was marking the release of something divine, a door, an opportunity, a next level that has been tailor-made for your journey. But access requires agreement. You can't enter this next season carrying the weight of yesterday's wounds. You've got to drop the bitterness, release the shame, forgive the past, and open your hands because what's coming can't be received with clenched fists. This moment is holy. It's not just another opportunity to be inspired, it's an invitation to be transformed, to walk out of what was and step boldly into what always was meant to be. You've been praying for change, asking for clarity, hoping for confirmation, and here it is. Not in thunder, not in lightning, but in a still, steady whisper saying, get ready. I'm about to do what only I can do. You don't have to force it, fabricate it, or figure it all out. You just have to obey. Trust the process, even when it doesn't make sense. Trust the plan, even when you can't see the whole picture. Because when the calendar hits that date, you won't need to chase the breakthrough. It will come looking for you. There's a weight to this moment that you can't ignore. It's not just another word of encouragement, it's a divine alert. You can feel it in your spirit like something's about to shift, like something is already moving beneath the surface. And that's because it is. God doesn't just speak to inspire you, he speaks to position you. And when he says it's all planned for the start of August 1st, that's not a vague suggestion. That's a heavenly schedule being revealed. You've been sensing something coming, and now the time is drawing near. But here's the truth. God never prepares a moment without first preparing a person. That means if he's planning something to start, he's also been planning you to step into it. Every trial has trained you. Every tear has watered the soil of your future. Every test has become the training ground for what's about to be released. You are not behind, you are not late, you are right on time for what God is about to unveil. But this is where the enemy ramps up his attack right before the door opens. This is where distractions increase. Fear whispers